at some point to kind of pick his brain a little bit if you haven't already?
Oh, absolutely. Peyton's one of my favorite all time. And he's one of the best to ever play the game. So just to pick his mind, see some things that we think the same on, see some things that he's seen over the years that he can add to help me in my preparation and whatever was going on the field. I took full advantage of today. Just after whatever drill, I'd go, hey, how was the communication? How was the execution? He'd give his feedback. And to have that from someone like Peyton, I think that's kind of invaluable.
Peyton's pretty much exactly the age to be the quarterback or one of the main quarterbacks, right, when you were growing up.
Yeah.
Just watching football.
Yep,
right?
he's one of my favorites. That's for sure. I loved watching him, except when they'd beat the Texans growing up. But definitely enjoyed what he was doing with his group.
Jared was saying the other.
Had you met him before?
Yeah, so obviously we played against each other. So I've talked to him a couple of times, and then this stinks the one time that we beat him while he was there. He just decided he didn't want to play that one. But no, it's I think the world of Peyton. Knew him before a little bit, but just being able to see him today and really talk to him, on a more personal level, just asking questions was really beneficial.
So it had been pretty much after games like, hey, nice to meet you. It had been quick
Right.
exchanges. It hadn't been in depth. Like
Yeah, no, right. I knew, honestly, I talked to Eli more just because of my brother, being in that relationship and stuff like that. And Eli and I are playing at the same time still and that kind of thing. But just having today with Peyton was just fantastic. I've taken things from his game, even from the way preparation, things that I could learn from my brother through Eli and and all those kind of things to stealing his warm-up routine. I've taken things from Peyton my whole life, so I definitely didn't stop today.
Jared said the other day you're a completely different quarterback this year in the sense that you're being challenged a lot more mentally, whether it be in meeting rooms on the field. Yeah. I know you like Jack and Todd a lot, but do you feel a marked difference in that aspect from a mental aspect at least?
It's just the demand is different. Again, you guys know how I feel about those guys. I love them to death, so I have nothing but good things to say. It's just a different way of meeting. We meet differently. We'll be watching film and out of nowhere, Coach Gruden, Derek, call the play. Where are you going with it? Derek, call the play. What are you going with it? What's the coverage? What's the corner's technique? What's this? What's that? What's that? And I'm answering, bam, bam, like that. Every meeting, I got to be on my game in front of my teammates, and it's awesome, man. I absolutely love it. He wants me to get up in front of the room and show him the way I do things and hear it from my voice, and just the way the quarterback position is treated. And he's a quarterback guy. Being the head coach is completely different.
Did you know it was great to have Peyton, but what was it like having Seawood back?
Oh man, Seawood, man, we were just sitting there last night laughing at some old stories. Just not even stuff about football, man. Stuff that happened on airplanes, jokes someone's told, or oh man, we were just sitting there dying laughing with each other. He still gets mad at me for not throwing him the go ball in the Pro Bowl. And that, of course, that's one of the first things he brought up, and I made sure I reminded him he didn't throw me the ball in the end zone against the Chargers either in overtime. So, we like to have a good time together. But I love Seawood. I still talk to him. He still gets on me just like he did when he was here. He has since he retired. But just to be able to see him, it's always good to see him. That's my dog.
Coach Gruden have you get up in front of the room and do what you were describing with Peyton there today?
Oh yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter who's in the room. Coach Gruden's won his Super Bowl also. So we got to do it no matter who's in the room.
It feels like that kind of communication, that back and forth, you feel like it's accelerated just your acclimation process to what is a new offense for you?
Absolutely. Me and Coach Gruden talk about all the time. We don't feel like we're in the first year together. Clearly we spend a lot of time together. I started sounding like him with the way I talk and certain comments I make, which is cool. It's good. That's how it should be. Him and I should be on the same page. We should think the same way. There should be no secrets between us. I know where he's at. He knows where I'm at. And just having that open relationship like that with the head coach, also so open that the other players see it, that is just good for the football team.
How often do you guys sit down together on a given day?
Every day.
Just multiple times?
Multiple times every day, yes. Whenever we're not doing something, we're together. If we're, in an offensive meeting, if we're not in the offensive meeting, I'm sitting right next to him, in the quarterback room, so if I'm not in on a rep, I'm standing right by him. He's hey, what do you think? What would you get to here? What would you do here? What would you do? And that's the way it should be. He challenges me, he pushes me, he wants the best for me. And you can tell that with his preparation every day. He's ready every day to give me something to let me dominate that day. It's awesome.
The way it peppers you with those questions, does it ever feel like you're still that 22-year-old in that little meeting room and you're meeting him for the first time, you're in that video room?
No, it definitely doesn't feel that way anymore. I know what you're saying, though, with how he just comes at you with everything. At that point, it was like, man, this is just so cool. What can I learn from this guy? This is awesome. Never thinking like we're going to take the field together. And now him and I are just sitting there with our minds just going. Just how can we dominate? How can we kick Gunther's butt when we come out here? Now it's a different mindset. It's a different, like, what do you want, Coach? What do you want? He asked me, what do you want here? And we talk back and forth, and we take what's best, and we go out there and we try and put a good thing out there every day together. And that's what's been really cool.
People on good old Twitter have been having their fun with the fact he's showing film from the 60s and 70s, I guess. In all seriousness, what benefit do you get out of that?
Oh, man, well, if it's the same coverage that people are playing today and it's the same route that we're trying to install, you get a whole bunch of benefit, seeing somebody else do it. You get a different taste of how someone would release or how someone would break or the timing of the quarterback, the kind of drops they would take, all those different things. And if it helps make us better, then it's awesome. And so I think Jared likes the old grainy film.
Can you see it at least?
Yeah, it's just a little blurry. It's not high definition, but it's awesome, man, because you can. I say this every day. I don't think there's a play ever run in football that he hasn't seen, on game tape. And I'll stick by that for the rest of my life because he's pulled out some stuff that I didn't know he had. He had some practice film of me at the Senior Bowl, throwing a route that we were installing. So that's how much he watches football.
Has there been a time, maybe it was early, where he did ask you to get up in front of a meeting or ask you to answer a question and you didn't know was right, you weren't able to do it?
Nope. Honestly, not just trying to be because I'm standing here. No, I have to be ready. If I'm not ready, our team's not ready. And so there hasn't been a time. That's why him and I work together so hard. That's why him and I spend so much time together, so that he knows no matter at what time he can say, Derek, get up there. I know what's going on.
How many hours a day would you estimate you guys are either in communication or actually together?
The other night I was dreaming of him calling a play, so I just say 24 hours. So we're always thinking of the next play, of the next call, of the next adjustment. I think he's brainwashed me a little bit. I guess I feel like kind of like his quarterback robot.
You've been at this for a while. I mean, does it feel like it's surprising to you to learn just how much of an ocean information is out there that you maybe didn't understand?
That's what's crazy. You obviously you don't know what you don't know, right? When he came in, I always had beliefs in certain things that, oh man, that'd be cool, or that, oh man, that makes sense. And then when he got there, he just kind of put the icing on that cake for me. But yeah, that's the way to think. You're on the right track, kind of a thing. I've won a Super Bowl thinking that way, kind of a deal. And he's never said that, but I'm just saying, the way that he teaches, the way that he demands, the way that we meet, it makes me. I'll say it this way: it makes me thankful to have him. It also makes me feel like, dang, a lot of rookie quarterbacks, they really should have this. I feel bad for the guys that don't have a coach like that. Now there's a lot of great coaches, but quarterback-wise, some of those rookies, man, to have someone like him, I mean, it's very, very beneficial.
Is there anything specific that he's kind of altered the way you think about it?
No, I mean, just the way that we run our system and things like that. Obviously, that's different. Sure. Different keys on coverages and players and things like that. The way that you can really, you think you're looking at something deep, and then you take it a step further on the practice field or in a walkthrough or whatever. Just his little things that he's learned over the years. Same thing with Peyton. The little things he's learned over the years. Little tweaks here, little tweaks here. I'm benefiting from both of them having 20+ years of knowledge in the game. And picking their brain. They've just like I'm sitting here at year 5, being able to tell some of the other guys, man, I've seen it this way. Trust me, do it like this. Well, they've done it for 4 times that time.
Couple more guys.
Jordy Nelson, you've talked about him a few days ago when we last spoke about how anyone who thinks he's lost a step, is false. You've seen him in pads now. You guys have connected a bit recent days. Is there anything further that has stood out to you just about what you're seeing from him as we get into the dog days of camp a little bit?
Yeah, he doesn't slow down. Obviously you would think with a guy his age, everyone would think, oh man, he'll be a little sore, whatever. I mean, the guy will sit out here and stretch until everyone's gone. The guy will sit out here and make sure he feels good, mentally and physically until everyone leaves. And so the thing about Jordy, obviously, he can play football. I think we all saw that. In the past 2 days, we've seen him take it over the top. We've seen him catch a little sail route or whatever for about 20 and take it 60 and not get touched. We've seen him go across the middle. We've seen him play football. I think the thing that everyone would obviously not get to see is what he does in the meeting rooms, what he does on the side with the other receivers, the things he talks about when no one's looking. Those kind of things that help our team just be better. He makes sure that receiver room is on it because when he goes out there, when our receivers go out there, his name is put on that also. And so he wants to make sure everyone's right, and he does a good job leading them.
You know that he's 32, but based on just simply seeing him in practice, what would you think?
Oh, you definitely think he's in his 20s. You see, he was a all-state, 100-meter champ. He was I think he's an all-state football player, basketball player. You just see the athlete. You see that, even from a young age, the dude could run, And so I don't think that running will ever be an issue for him. He's like one of those guys that they'll come off and run a 4.4, when he's 48 or something like that, and we'll all be shocked. But just seeing him run, it'll be yeah, that's Jordy.
Last one.
Marcel Aitman has made a couple nice catches last
he
couple
has.
days. John said the other day, it's rare for a veteran quarterback to call a rookie's number with the media here. If he makes this team, what can he provide you guys?
Yeah, again, Coach Gruden's right. It's hard. When obviously we're out there with the ones. We're trying to. I got a lot of matchups that I like. I got a lot of matchups that I could throw to. I got a lot of things I can get to throw certain routes. And for me to say, all right, Rook, here's your one chance, and him make the play. Okay, Rook, here we go again. He makes the play again, and then you start to see okay, hey, this guy's pretty good. This guy can be one of those matchups for us. It's nice, and he has to continue to do it because there's a very competitive receiver room trying to make this team. So we love Marcel. I think he's doing a great job. And I think that I could have threw a better pass to him on the sideline today.